Today we are going to make this granny triangle shawl with the fray. I'm Rose and welcome to my channel. To make the shawl, I'm using Yarn Bee Velvety Smooth Sparkle in the Ivory color. You will need a crochet hook. I'm using 5 millimeters, a pair of scissors, a needle, and for the fringe I'm going to be using the Bejeweled Sequin Gold by Yarn Bee. To make the granny triangle, we're going to make a slip knot, and we are going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we are going to come back and slip stitch back into that first stitch. Now we are going to place 3 double crochets back into that same first stitch. 1, I don't know why it's hard to see, it's here. 2 and 3. And now we are going to chain 3 and place 3 more double crochets back in that same stitch. 1, 2, 3, and then we are going to chain 1 and place a treble stitch into the same stitch again. And that is the beginning of your granny triangle. So we're all working back into that same first stitch. For round 2, we are going to chain 5, 4, 5, and we are going to place 3 double crochets into this loop. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to chain 1, and this is our bottom stitch, so we're going to place 3 double crochets into this bottom loop. 2, 3, and then we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and now place 3 more double crochets back into the same loop. 1, 2, 3, and chain 1, and we're going to find the top loop and place 3 double crochets into the top loop. 2, 3, chain 1, and now we're going to make a treble stitch, which is 2 loops around. So we're going to chain over twice. So instead of like a double crochet, it's going to be 1 more. place your hook through the loop, and you're going to pull through 2, pull through 2 more, and pull through the last 2, and that's a treble stitch. And that is the end of round 2, and it will start to make this V or triangle shape. For round 3, we're going to chain 5, 5, and then we're going to turn your work and place 3 double crochets into the loop. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and then we're going to find our next loop. We're going to be working in each of the holes. So we skip the cluster of 3, and then we work into the next space. So 3 double crochets into the next space or loop, whatever you'd like to call it. I'm calling them loops. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and now this should be your bottom stitch, and we're going to place a total of 6 into this top stitch, but we're going to start with 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and now we're going to place 3 double crochets back into that same loop. So you should have a total of 6 double crochets in this bottom loop or space. 2, 3, chain 1, find your next loop, skip the cluster of 3, and we're going to work into the next space with 3 double crochets. 2, 3, chain 1, and we should be into the top loop, and we're going to place 3 double crochets into this top stitch, top loop. 3, chain 1, and then our treble stitch. 1, 2, 3. And that's what it will look like at the end of round 3. For round 4, we're going to chain 5, 5, turn our work, and we're going to place 3 double crochets into this top loop. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and we're going to follow the triangle down, find our next loop or space, and 3 double crochets into that space. 3, chain 1, find your next space, chain 1, and then 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and chain 1. And now we should be back at this top space or loop, and this is where we're going to place the 6, which we start with the 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, and then chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 3 more into that space. One, 2, 3. Chain 1. You find your next space and place 3 double crochets into this space. 1, 2, 3. Chain 1. Find your next space. And 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Chain 1. And then the top. And 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. I don't know why my yarn got knotted. Just was doing a middle pull and feels like the entire yarn comes out of the middle, and now it's a big knot. But hopefully it will work itself out. Alright, and then chain 1, I do 3, chain 1, and then our treble stitch. 1, 2, 3. And then that is the end of round 4, and it should be starting to make the triangle shape, and we're just going to work into all of our loops all the way around, and until you have your desired length, so that it will tie at the end, or you can attach them, but I'm going to work until I get to round 20, so I will see you at the end of round 20. when you come to the end of round 15, I decided that 20 was going to be way too big, so I'm going to bring my two ends together and I'm going to slip stitch them together so that my shawl will become like an infinity almost, that it would loop around and stay connected. So it's going to look like this, and I'm just going to cut my yarn and make a knot right here, and then I will tuck my ends, but it's just going to come together like this, and then you should only have two ends to tuck. And then if you want to add fringe around the bottom, you can either use the same yarn that we were using, or I'm going to use the gold that I showed you at the beginning, and I'm going to go and work around all the way around. To make the fringe, I'm just going to eyeball, I think this is about a foot long, and then I'm going to cut a bunch of different pieces all the way around so that it will go all the way around. Let's see. So I'm going to actually start at the bottom, and let's see how this looks. Now you can go in every stitch if you like. I don't know if I'm going to go in every stitch, but I am going to work probably every little stitch, and then this big one, and then the little stitches. So I'm going to put one in this bottom. I'm just going to pull around and then make like a knot like that. You are welcome to do it however you like, but that's how I think I'm going to do it all the way around, and let's see how that goes. Like this one, maybe because it's all the way around, but alright, I'm going to work all the way around and show you what it looks like in the end. Alright, so this is what I did with the fringe. I didn't go all the way to the top because I just thought, what if I wanted to wear this to church tomorrow? And I'm not sure what it's going to look like when I go. I think for New Year's Eve, I'm going to take it even further. But this is, I tucked both my ends, so this is all ready to go. And then this is what the back looks like, and then this is just a little bit of fringe that I have on the front. And what I learned is do not go around the whole space. If you just keep it in just one stitch, it seems to hold pretty well. It's when it's wrapped around the entire stitch, it seems to get loose and pull apart. So this looks actually really well. It looks like it's gonna stay pretty well. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed making this granny triangle shawl with me for New Year's Eve. And until next time, eat, sleep, pray, and crochet. Thank you so much for watching.